Hi friends, and welcome back to Violin Teacher YouTube channel. And today we are going to continue our study of the Bériot Violin Method. You can download this book, very extensive book, from a link in my description. You can watch other lessons from this book through this link right here. And let us begin. Now, we're going to have to stop calling them lesson 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 because Bériot didn't number them anymore. So we're going to call this one C major scale. Let's read what he says. He's introducing the first position. Did you know that you play in first position already? Probably so. Let's see. These preliminary scales and exercises must be practiced slowly, sustaining the notes to their fullest time value, and without lifting the bow from the string, unless otherwise directed. Okay, we know that much, don't we? Keeping the fingers sufficiently close together in the half tones will be the first difficulty encountered. In order to fix the pupil's attention on this point, these intervals have been indicated. Good. He's given us the indication of half tones, which I don't see in this first one. In the first exercises, by the letter HT, meaning half tone. Before beginning a scale, the pupil should curve the fingers nicely at a distance of about 1 inch above the string, or less, but over the string, neither separating them widely nor pressing them close together. The fundamental note must be played in perfect tune before proceeding to the next one. Okay, so the very first note of the scale has to be in tune before you go on. So let's look at the next exercise, which you will see, and we've talked about this, the way these staffs are, where they're tied together with this kind of a thing here. So you see 2 treble clefs and 2 lines of music. You're meant to play the top line, and the teacher will play the bottom line. And so if we look at the double staff in terms of lines, we have 3 lines here, don't we? And we are going to do a C major scale. If you will just look at the key signature, do you remember where the key signature is? I'll show you that too. The key signature occurs right after the treble clef. And so you'll see sharps and flats and whatever we're going to get right here between the key signature and the time signature. This C is the same thing as 4/4. It means common time. So it's just a lazy way of writing 4/4. Common. I guess it was so common when they all agreed how they would write time signatures that they just put a C there and just said, hey, this is 4/4. We all agree. Okay, so looking at this exercise, you'll see that he has given, he's pointing out G string, D string. That's nice too. We've done something similar in other exercises, and we'll get to that in just a minute. But he is notating where we switch strings, and that's kind of nice of him to do. Thank you again. All hail to Bériot. Okay, so back to the key signature. There's nothing there, right? There's just the staff. So no sharps, no flats, all natural fingers. So let's look at how we start on the 3rd finger on G. 3rd finger in C major is always in the same spot. No surprises, okay? 4th finger, always in the same spot, a whole step from 3. Yay. Okay, 1st finger on the lower 3 strings is going to be right there in its regular position. But on the E, it's going to be low. Let's see if we deal with that. Yes, it's going to be low. So we got to watch for that. It's an anomaly. Okay? And the reason for that, and I'll just try to be brief in explaining this, you might not understand it, but just follow along with me. If you have a keyboard at home, I want you to look at your piano or keyboard, and I may have mentioned this in one of my other videos about the Bériot. All natural fingers. Lay on the violin differently according to where the black keys are on the piano. On the piano, you see groups of 3 and groups of 2 and groups of 3 and groups of 2. In between those groups are a pair of white keys that have no black key in between. Those are the natural half steps that occur on the piano and in music in general. That is C major. All the white keys are C major. No black keys are half steps. So if you have a spot on the piano where you have no black key in between 2 white keys, that's a half step. It's a natural half step, and there's only 2 places. There's only 2 pairs of natural half steps, and they are B and C. That's here, B and C, and E and F. So how do you make a half step with open string? You have to lower the 1. All right. So if you didn't understand that, that's okay, because you're going to understand it pretty soon. All right, so scanning the line, the top line, we have whole notes, which get 4 counts, and we have half notes, which are slurred together, as in measure 2, where we are asked to play 4th finger, then open D, and that is a guide for intonation, isn't it? On the way down, we do the same thing, only in reverse. And that helps, I think, is a little bit more helpful because we get the E, so the open string, and then the 4th finger, which helps us kind of mark to hear it and then play it is much more helpful. But at least when we play the 4 and then have the open string after it, we get feedback. You know, we know whether we've played it in tune or not right away. Okay, so it looks like we're going to have that E, that low 1 on the E, so watch for that. And then the second fingers are all on the top 3 strings. They're all going to be low. They're all going to be low 2s, except on G, which is a B natural. A, so it's G, G string, A, first finger, B, whole step away. Okay, then B and C, tips touching. Now, anytime you have a half step, you have tips touching on violin. Okay, so let's try this and see what we get. All right, so I've put the metronome at 80 beats per minute. Remember, hold those fingers down as you walk up the string. Then when you cross to another string, you can lift them up. If you don't want to slur the opens and the 4s, the transitions to the next string, you can do them separate bows. All right, and hopefully Max will let us get through this. Leave the bow on the string after you play. Ready, 2, 3, go. right, very good. I hope that you had a nice bow control, good tone. And now I'll play the duet part, the same tempo, and we'll try to fit that together. All right, so this time you play the G scale like we just did, and I'm going to do the duet part. Got the metronome going at 80 beats per minute, so hopefully we'll be together. And did you notice one quick thing, that as we walked up, we were holding fingers down. Then when we went down, our fingers were already in place. So that was good. Okay, here we go. 1, 2, ready, play. How did you do? I hope you enjoyed your C major scale for today. Ready, 2, 3, go.